Morning, all. All right, so the news of the day today seems to be dominated by Ryan Hartman. Ryan Hartman going into a face-off told Cole Perfetti he was going to high stick him in the face on the draw because of Kaprizov. Now, this would be hearsay if not for the fact that Perfetti was wired up. He was wearing a microphone in yesterday's game, so the audio is there. There's actual audio proof of Hartman saying, yeah, so I'm going to stick you in the face because of Kaprizov, which to me says intent to injure. Now, there's a fine that's been levied against Hartman. He was not penalized on the play. The referees didn't see it. Perfetti also being very decent about saying, look, referees can't catch everything off the draw. Fine. It said his face hurt. He's okay now. He's glad the league did something about it, which is the maximum allowable fine. It's not a lot of money. And so the interesting thing to me is, so the question I had right away was, well, wait a minute. If there's audio out there of him saying, so I'm going to stick you in the face and try to hurt you for what happened to my teammate in the last game we played, wouldn't the NHL then immediately look at it as a suspension? No, no, no. Jeff Merrick has been on Twitter slash X today saying that back in 2005, basically the union had it so that anything that microphones caught could not be used um, in a disciplinary sense for any kind of hearing or anything like that, which is absolutely insane to me. It is crazy to me that you could say whatever you want on the ice into somebody's live microphone, and if an incident takes place after that or before that or anything, the Department of Player Safety can't even use that as evidence. That is insane. That is crazy. Anything you say can, but it won't be used against you in a court of the NHL. I am absolutely shocked. That is one thing. The NHL surprised me today. It did. I didn't think it could, but it did. So Bonus was told by Cole Perfetti after the game, and Cole Perfetti did not tell his teammates because the game would have got a lot uglier if he had. So I will say for Perfetti, good on him. He took the shot. The fine has been done. He's not injured. Everything's okay. But again, you would think when a player says, I'm going to go out there and hurt that guy, or says to the guy directly, I'm going to hurt you on this face-off because I have to, because my teammate in the last game, you would think the NHL would go, huh, um, have there been violent incidents in the past that were retaliation for something that happened to a teammate in a previous? I, for the life of 2004, can't remember. Anyways, it's just it's crazy to me. Absolutely crazy to me. So yeah, the next time these teams meet each other, which is a while, it's a while before they meet again. Now, yeah, this could get really ugly, and if they meet in the playoffs, oh man. I've also informed Yvonne, since her favorite teams are Winnipeg and Minnesota, that because of people telling me I can't cheer for Boston and Vancouver, she can no longer cheer for both of them and has to pick. So because the teams don't like each other. So that seems to be the rule. You can't cheer for two teams if they don't like each other. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts. Should Oh my gosh. Oh. Wow, you got caught in the microphone, huh? It's a shame we can't use it because, just I'm just trying to picture any situation in life that would be like that. Like, hey, he was caught stealing and it's right on the security camera. That's security camera footage. Can't use that in court. It's a shame too, because yeah, there he is taking everything out piece by piece. But thanks to that accord we signed back in 2005, we can't use that. I can't I can't wrap my brain around that. That's going to take a while for me to really and truly just come to grips with that. Anyways, that being said, getting into other news from around the National Hockey League, and I was thinking about doing a video just on that. And I thought, I don't know that that's worthy of an entire video, but it's got to be at the start of a video. All right, Martin Jones. Martin Jones could be busy this week. So Hildeby's been called up by Toronto, and right away people are talking about how he's not ready. He's 22. It's his first year in North America, and he may very well not be ready. But we've seen goaltenders come in before they're supposed to be ready as well and excel. We've seen that. So I'm not going to say Hildeby won't get any time in games, that he won't get a start while he's up. Samsonov has been loaned to the Marlies. He is reporting to the Toronto Marlies. But Jones could play both halves of the back-to-backs tonight in LA and tomorrow night in Anaheim. So LA and Anaheim are close to one another. It's not really like it's this egregious like New York to LA. Like that'd be a good back-to-back. But it just basically means that Jones could be very busy. This is where adding Martin Jones was a really smart move in the offseason. We know Jones can play. He's been a starter in the NHL before. I think he can play both halves of the back-to-backs. But it will be interesting to see how Toronto navigates this going forward. So, World Juniors quarterfinals today. Switzerland and Sweden is currently in progress, but I'd be very surprised if Sweden doesn't win that game. Finland, it took until overtime, but they eliminated Slovakia 4-3. So, good on Slovakia for giving a good fight there. And the Finns showing that when you get to the medal round, the Finns are very good. Czechia defeated Canada 3-2, and that was something that we didn't see it coming, did we? But it's not a huge surprise. The Czechs play Canada very, very hard. The U.S., as expected, pushed aside Latvia by a score of 7-2 today. So from here, I'd like to see the Americans win it. To be honest, I think it'd be great for the American players. There's a lot of really good American players in that lineup, and yeah, I could have just said players. I didn't have to keep saying American, but yeah, there's a lot of good players in that lineup, and yeah, it'd be fun to see them end up winning the gold. But again, we shall see. PWHL yesterday with their first game, New York beat Toronto 4-0. It was mildly anticlimactic because obviously it's in Toronto, so Toronto fans would have wanted, reason to be cheering and excited. But it was a pretty full crowd, and there were a lot of people talking about it on social media. I'll be interested to see what kind of ratings it garnered for both TSN and CBC. But yeah, today Montreal is at Ottawa, and this is where the rubber really meets the road because there's 13 games in the NHL tonight. So this is where it gets interesting, scheduling your games on the same nights as NHL games, and so we'll see how they stand up in the ratings for that and all of that. So it is the first season. It's only the second game tonight, but a lot of people talking about it. So hey, let me know your thoughts. Went at Washington News, so the reason for the Capitals jersey, Max Pacioretty could debut with the team later this week. They've taken their time with him, and I would imagine he's taken his time as well after coming back from the Achilles injury too early last year, playing for Carolina. So he's taken his time, but they need him because Milano and Oshie have both been placed on IR. Oshie's been out for, I think it's 7 games Oshie's been out for at this point, but which is too bad too because Oshie was already off to a slow start to the season. So, we'll see how things go the rest of the way for him and for the Caps. Lindgren is also listed as day-to-day, but he will miss at least their next 2 games, and then we'll see beyond that where he's going to play. But yeah, some injury issues with the Capitals, and we'll see how they navigate this. But getting Pacioretty into the lineup should at least help the goal-scoring side of things. This is a team in Washington's had a really hard time scoring goals this year. They're towards the bottom of the league when it comes to goals for per game, so getting Pacioretty in there, if he's really and truly good to go, that would help a lot. Chernak is day-to-day for the Tampa Bay Lightning. It's an upper body injury for him. Hayden Fleury is week-to-week, so it's an upper body injury for him as well, just a little more severe than what we were dealing with Chernak. And, well, again, Tampa Bay's had injuries on their blue line most of the season, going without Sergachev for a while. Hedman was out for a while. Now you got Chernak out. I think this is the second time Chernak's been hurt this season. It's hard to keep track of defenseman injuries with the Tampa Bay Lightning. But, again, they do have depth there. I think they'll be okay, but we shall see. Timo Meier's also being evaluated, and this is as vague injuries get. Basically, Lindy Ruff saying it's medium body. Okay, so, I mean, it all technically could be medium body. I don't know. But anyways, he's being evaluated as a new injury, which I guess is the good news to this. Because you don't want it to be a nagging injury, because nagging injuries, if they keep coming up, eventually you might say, you know what, you have to sit out the rest of the year. But when the good news is it's a new injury, it's not necessarily good news. It's just sort of, it's not the worst of news. So, anyways, I'd be interested to know your thoughts in the comment section below. I know there's going to be a lot of discussion about the Hartman situation. And, again, here's a guy confessing on a microphone that this is deliberate attempt to injure. Sorry, it's not admissible. Department of Player Safety, I have been very much of the forgiving nature, and in this case, it's not Department of Player Safety that set this rule. It was an agreement between the NHL and the union, and I do not understand it. I don't. I don't get it. I'm bewildered on that. But anyways, let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you have not done so already. Thank you guys so much. I hope you're having a good start to 2024. Mine has been Anyways, there's a reason the video's late, but hey, you know, life goes on day by day, and you just sort of get up, you put your pants on one leg at a time, because when you try to use two, you fall over, and then you go out and you do your job. So here I am. All right. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.